Good morning to day 322. 322 days on site. Blistering day again as always. A little bit of cloud, but a little bit of wind, a little bit of cloud. Bursting sun. Gorgeous day, gorgeous day. Before I start, shout out to my good old mate Sean and his son Ethan. How are you, buddy? Good to see you checking into the videos. I hope life is well and treating you good, mate. Ethan, I'm sure you're probably a young man by now. I think the last time I saw you, you were very, very young, which shows mine and your dad's age. Anyway, obviously, if you could do me a favour, obviously, and like and subscribe down below, that would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to take you through very quickly and show you what we're doing today. Saturday being obviously sometimes a lower staffing level, but should be roughly the same. The main thing today is pretty much the same as yesterday. It's getting the ceiling of the garage battened properly. We've got an inconsistent level to contend with as well, so we're going to get the battens put up. We've got like a slight arcing in the roof, so which means we've got to lower those down and batten them so they're nice and straight and strong. And staircase, obviously the top of the steps, we've had that nice and plastered flush with a slight run on it. Now what we've got to try and do is get the risers, the 6-inch all the way along, and again they're like a banana as well, so that's what you can hear the chasing for now, is trying to take some of the actual bananaing at the ends down so we don't actually have so much work to do in plaster, or we'll end up having 5.5 inch risers, and then you know what the human brain does upstairs. If it's 1 inch or 2 inches lower, then you'll end up kicking it and tripping over and all sorts. So anyway, yesterday, as I said, the actual front of the garden was actually put back. We still do need to actually put the front soil back where we cleared out where the paint was. We needed to clear this soil away from the wall so we could get down and paint the wall. We did that, but we've not put that back. So at some stage we'll do that. Sherwin put some more coat on the front steps yesterday. I think you'll agree, looked pretty cool. We've still got to get the front door sorted out. Bloody great mess. But yeah, and there's no point doing these steps at the moment because obviously, you know, there's still traffic going on, and dirt and dust and whatever. And we have got quite a bit of cracking on here where they've blown, so we need to establish where they're blown, or are we going to redo them or not. I must admit, I am absolutely fed up with blown concrete, that's for sure. I don't understand why it gets so much blown concrete. If anybody else is experienced enough telling me how you can try and put concrete on concrete without it blowing, please let me know. I would gladly take the advice and give it a go. There's one guy, I think I've told you in the last couple of videos, in America that does pools. He recommends making sure the concrete that you're about to bond onto is wet. It's porous, it soaks in water. Get it completely soaked. Once it's soaked, make sure there's no puddling on it, but then make a slurry, a cement slurry, which you pour all over the step, and then you put the concrete on top of that, and that does give you about an 80% bond, apparently. He also recommends adding PVA to the cement, so it's just cement, water and PVA. So I'm willing to give it a go, because at the moment what we're doing doesn't seem to work. So also, before I carry on, we've got 685 subscribers, so we've gone up. We're still on track. Every 28 days we're following sort of a 90 to 95 new subscriber limit, I suppose. It'd be good to start seeing that go over 100, but we're at 685, so we've still got a good 300 odd to go before we get to 1,000. So anything you guys can suggest I can do to try and help out getting those figures up, please let me know. I'll gladly do it. Okay, so let's start by taking you in and showing you what we've been doing. Today we finished off with having most of the cabling pulled through, so the first fixed cabling for the garage has been pulled through. We've got all the actual cables hanging out now for the lights. And we did have an issue over here with the power, which I told you about. This power socket here feeds every other socket, and for some unknown reason they can't get a cable, fish tie, put down that ball. So at the moment I don't know why and what the problem is, but it means that we can't connect up any of these without feeding through there. So they're now suggesting to take a new cable through the floor, all the way through, outside, back through this little cavity through here, and then punch back through the wall again. So an absolute ball ache. So again, if anyone's got any great and inventive ideas about how to try and get through a conduit that seems to be blocked, let me know, because otherwise we're going to be doing more chasing. Let me show you in here what I told you about with regards to the battening. So as you can see, all the battening starts to bow as soon as you cut it down. So this is 2x4s cut down. As you can see on the ceiling, we're getting a banana shape. We're getting quite an arc in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop fixing so many screws. We're going to do one in the middle, 2 on the outer ends, We're going to batten the whole thing across. We're going to put a line from here straight to this side. We're going to put a line from there to this side once it's done. We're going to release those off, and then we're going to use the same thickness of the wood up against the ceiling, fix into the side, and then take the battening up into the ceiling to try and get it straight. So if we don't do that, then obviously by the time we finish, we're going to have an absolute mess of a ceiling. And obviously it will do my OCD in massively. What we are looking to do is have a night and day, a motion sensor put inside the garage. So when the garage door opens, the first 6 lights in the middle come on straight away, so you can drive and you can see what you're doing, and then there'll be a light switch for the other lights. I mean, there's lights behind this beam here, and there's more lights going down the side. This is going to be a sensor light for outside. There will be a camera going up here somewhere. At the moment it was meant to be on that wall, but I'm being told they can't get the cabling through the wall. So now we might have to use a conduit on the roof and actually have it quite high up here somewhere where we can drill through the parapet. And that's not what we wanted to do. So there's meant to be a camera up here facing down here. And there's meant to be a camera on the front facing down the front of the building. So I'm going to have to look at those. Again, power socket on the outside. I'm not too sure why I did that. I mean, surely, bear in mind it's for outside power and the garage door will normally open when you're doing it. So I should have had that maybe put on the inside, about here somewhere. So at least then when I'm away, there's no external power showing. Not that this is like England where people will just pull up and start using your power, but better to not have it than to have it. We've still got wood everywhere, which we've got to get sorted out, and we've still got to get this sorted out, so the chance of us doing that is very slim. The plumber was meant to come last night or this morning to start and finish this and start and finish that, but he didn't turn up last night, so hopefully he's going to be here today. Beckles obviously is chasing off the higher edge, so this edge here on all the steps seems to be higher than anything else. So we're, if you measure the riser here to here, that riser there is shorter than here, which means obviously the step is going up. So what he's doing now is trying to take 1/4 inch off that end so that we can actually try and get the whole step level and not lose any height on the riser. Showing's in there doing the doors, so he's in there at the moment doing the doors. He's already painted this side here, the opening. Just get a little bit of coat of paint on around there to lose the actual horribleness. I think he should have maybe done that at the same time, but I think knowing him, he probably wants to clean all this off. So yeah, we can still paint around there, but in ideal way, he wants to get up on a ladder and clean that off first before he paints it, just so we lose any lumps and bumps. You know, it's only mortar, so we can literally wipe it off. So I think you probably want to do that first. I'm not going to be here today, so my intention was to do that window today, but I'm going to be spending some time with my wife and my children. So take a back seat until Monday, Tuesday, without being rude. I didn't want to get to day 365. But having days off is certainly going to help me get there, that's for sure. But if I get to 365 and I'm still working, that would be a shame, but c'est la vie, as they say. Down the back of the building, Smithy's down there. I'm not too sure what he's up to. Let me have a quick look. We've got Beckles chatting away to himself as he's using the Hilti. I always say the first sign of madness, but we know he's mad, completely barking mad. Okay, so Smithy was down here, so I'm not too sure what Smithy's up to. Oh, he's right over there, moving some saw by the looks of it. This has still got to be sorted out all through here. So anyway, we've got to get this a little bit more level down here. We've got to get this pipe secured. I've got some brackets. I want to try and get those re-screwed back on properly. We've got to support that bit there massively. So I don't know what we're going to do there, but that's definitely got to be supported properly. And then we've got to try and rake this through, because at the moment it's just been dumped. We've got to now make it level off and do what it needs to do, and all this shit needs to go. And next week, hopefully, that's going to be plastered. So I'm still waiting to hear from the masons as to when they're looking to come back to do. So yeah, also I'm standing here and I can smell quite a bad waste sewage smell. So I'm not too sure where it's coming from. Obviously I'm near the manholes, but we shouldn't be getting that sort of smell coming from the manholes, that's for sure. So I need to find out where that's coming from and make sure we've got a stop to that. We might go on the breather hole somewhere on top, but I'll have a quick look at that, make sure they analyse where that's coming from and get a put a stop to it, that's for sure. But anyway, apart from that, obviously before I go, please help me again, don't forget, do a comment, do a like and subscribe. I will try and film a little bit more later on today, but I'm not going to be around a great deal, so fingers crossed today. The aim is at least to get all of the battens on the ceiling in here and to get this rodded, waiting to be plastered. But obviously if we don't have a mason here, then there's no plastering happening anyway, so that would be a Monday thing. But worst case scenario, we can get that rodded up here and get stuck into doing the roof and get that done. That would be a good achievement for the day. So anyway, I'll check in soon. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we are kicking on 12:30, 1:15. The bin men finally turned up, but apparently not on this watch. They were sent from somewhere else. So we normally have Wednesday or Thursday bin men, but for the last month they don't seem to be turning up, and today they just turned up out of the blue. Strange one. Disgusting. Now, the other thing I need help with, because they never turn up, we have these bins, which for some reason we've never been given the wheelie bins, so we need to chase that up. In the meantime, how do you stop maggots? And I'm talking about maggots under the bin, not in the bin. I mean, obviously there's loads in the bin, but it's a sealed plastic container with a sealed lid. How do maggots get underneath? It's so confusing, but there must be something we can put in the bin to try and stop them breeding and creating their disgusting smell. So any ideas? You know what to do. Let me know downstairs. So anyway, like and subscribe whilst I'm on it. Obviously we're back on. This is one of the amazing sights, right? My painter, good lad. Sherwin, you're a legend. Lunch break, you're literally painting one of the carpenter's cars. That can only happen in Barbados. It's a legend. So it looks like he's papered up and he's spraying black the trim. Legend. Anyway, we have a plumber in the house. George has found his way here. So the drainage is going to the above, look. So he's going to get that done. So he's going to get that done for us. He's also going to try and get this bit here through the ground for us, from the 1.5 to the 2 to the 3. You can make a song out of that, couldn't you? 1.5 to the 3. The door is getting finished off in the cottage, so I think Sherwin's doing that. The rods have been taken off of the actual step, and the rod has now been applied to the step down as well. So this is one thing I find a bit strange here, without being rude to here, but we would normally do one side and then the other side at the same time. So even if one was dry, we would do the top one, we would then take a rod off, put it on the front, and we would then scrape in the front as well, so that there's never a cold joint and another surface. Every time there's something to be done on one surface, the other surface has to be done at the same time. But here, it's one surface gets done, then they let it dry, and then they take it off, and then they do the other side. So it's like, I don't understand why they don't. I mean, is it me? Tell me if I'm wrong. But every time I've seen someone do a top like that, they would take the rod off once that's dried, and they would literally fill in the front, and they would smooth it up at the same time, so the whole thing dries with the front and the top. But instead, that's dried, and now they've taken the front off, and now they're going to literally spend time at some stage going back up the steps, doing all the fronts. It just seems to take forever. I don't know why. And obviously then it must create a cold joint, and again, the issue with concrete bonding to concrete. It's very strange behaviour. I don't, and again, whether it's my inexperience, but every time I've seen someone do a step, they do the top part, and whilst it's still wet, they do the front part, and they smooth it all off. They let it obviously dry out, and then they obviously rub them in both at the same time, and you get the nice thing done at the same time. But instead, it's always one bit and then the next bit. I'm lost. Maybe it's me. But anyway, obviously they've got to do the whole bloody lot, so we want to try and make sure we get them done and dusted. So I want them done as quick as possible, as cheap as possible, and as effective as possible. What I don't want is another scratch face going on here, so you've got one set of concrete, another set of concrete, and then there's going to be another facial set of concrete. 3 lots of concrete all trying to bond with each other, which has got to be part of the reason why we keep getting these cracking and, I suppose, it coming apart, whatever you call it, unbonding. We don't seem to be getting them bonding together, so it's got to be something to do with the way that it's being done. It has to be. I mean, look at this. Concrete, 3 lots of concrete. The original concrete step, the first fascia, the second fascia, and the second fascia is blown off the front. So there has to be something they're doing wrong. Has to be. But anyway, it'd be nice to see those steps finished once and for all, because they've been a pain in my arse. Obviously we get the drainage done up here. Once that's done, we can then get the boxing done. Unfortunately, as you can see, we're talking about probably 4 inches, 4 and a bit inches lower, maybe 5 inches. No, you might be 4, because it's a 3-inch pipe. You've got about an inch above that, so you've got about a 4-inch down. So then we have the plasterboard as well. So we're putting about 4.5, maybe 5 inches of boxing in that corner, which is a real pain in the arse. But I didn't want this 4 inches all the way across because of that. So it meant we would have been hit hide that corner. But I think, it's a lot more work and a lot more cost to go into something to hide one little boxing in the corner. But I know I'm going to regret having that corner boxing. That's the way it is. So they've got all of the actual battens up now. So the next stage is going to be loosening off the middle screw, pulling a line across first, pulling across this way and that way, and then off the back of that, letting that down, getting to the line, using the wood from hard to do it. Here to the ceiling, screwing that straight into the batten, and then tightening the battens back into the ceiling again so they're nice and straight, and obviously tight. But anyway, I'll check in a bit later on with you. Again, whilst I'm on, please help me get some traction on the channel, and I will be back on soon. Okay, so we're gone 4 o'clock, Saturday over. Back to a little bit of normality inside. Guys are just moving on, bless them. Okay, upstairs on the ceiling. This is what's happened because of the bow. That's how much of a bow we had. So we pulled a line and we've literally undone all the screws, let them all off, packed it out with these little wooden chocks. And now we know roughly how stable we have to be, so we'll have to build up underneath and screw through into the ceiling. So that's going to be a bit of a mission. The waste for upstairs, the gutter pipe for upstairs has now been connected. We didn't, again, get around to doing here, but we have now pulled a line on it and dug it out deep enough so it's now ready to go in. So it's just a case of just getting the glue and connecting it up. And then obviously putting the reducer into, obviously, 1.5 to 2 and 2 into 3. So that's been done. The doors have had another coat, so they're ready to be put back on Monday, hopefully. They'll obviously have not only their primer coat, but they've also had a couple of other coats as well, so they'll be going on. What else has happened today? On the plumbing front, what else happened on the plumbing front? Oh, he still hasn't done my P-trap. So we need to get the P-trap sorted out. So other than that, we're pretty much done. So, see you Monday, buddy. So another great day over. Hope you obviously found today a little bit more interesting. Still got quite a bit to do, obviously. On Monday, we're going to set ourselves a plan for completion. That's the hope. So get these guys helping me get this place completed once and for all. So we've got to get the concrete driveway over here, pathway, sorry, over here, all the way around the back, around here, sorted out. We've got to get the ceiling plasterboarded, skimmed, sanded and painted, and all the lights put in. We've got to get some doors put on the back of the garage here, and I need a garage door. Help me get a garage door. We're going to try and find some places in America. There's got to be somewhere in America or the UK I can really get it from. I spoke to someone just a minute ago and they said that they can supply it, but whether I can get it here and get it installed in time is a different matter. But that's going to be the aim, trying to get that delivered and get it installed as soon as possible. We've got to finish the front door because that obviously has been knocked and nicked where it was delivered. So we've got to get it back off again, got to get it sanded down and get it put back in with all the door jambs put on where they should be. Bedroom doors, Monday they're starting, so we've got someone coming out to actually finish the bedroom doors, take some of them off, rehang them, fill the gaps, sand it all down, and get the guys to paint and finish. We've got 2 more doors being made, one for utilities and one for the living area. And we've got the steps being plastered again on Monday, so we've got lots to do. Electricians hopefully will be here Monday as well, cracking on and finishing off the electrics on the ceiling. And I'm also going to get the painter to get this completely painted white, because at the moment we had an undercoat put on there just to brighten it up, and we were going to trial plastic it, but I think I'm just going to paint it for now and then do the trial plastic a bit later on. So I'll get that started on Monday, Tuesday once the doors are finished. Other than that, obviously now the gutter's done upstairs, we can get that trimmed out, get that done, and then we can get the rubberisation put on the roof as well. Sump has been plastered, so that's been soaked today, so we can bust that out on Monday. And then it's plastering the sump, and the sump is done. Soak away needs stones put into it. We need gates. So Deborah, I haven't called your man yet. I've been busy, so I need to call that guy. Anyone else know anyone else that I can actually talk to, just to get some different prices and different samples, then let me know, because I need to get that sorted sooner rather than later. Other than that, we're pretty much done. So thanks for tuning in. There was a new guy today who's just seen the channel. He said, I've literally seen it, amazing. I'm going straight back to day 1. So he's about to melt his brain with 300 and something days of video. See you later, Sherwin. See you Monday. Good guys. So yeah, other than that, enjoy the, I think his name's Chris. Enjoy the videos up until now. I'm sure we'll see this video in about 2 months' time. And I'll check in and see you guys bright and breezy on Monday. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and a like. Thank you.